And for me, reading was the founding stone that led me to explore so many cultures, that led me to becoming who I am today.
Okay.
And read everything that you can get your hands on. Don't be very specific about what I want to read. Read everything that you can get your hands on. It will broaden your horizons. It will help you think in a very different manner. It will help you question things from multiple angles. Initially, it took me about the first time that I went to London, because I was going alone to study outside. You are nervous, you don't know how to manage your finances.
Right.
So it took me about 3 months to set up internal systems for myself about how I wanted to go to college, taking bus for the first time, getting your metro cards, getting everything. So it took about 3 months to process everything, but once we were there, it's pretty easy.
But I am so curious to know that if we want to discover that one moment that defines your professional life, then what would it be and why? So regarding YI, what I understand from your timeline is right after you came here, you just settled and you joined YI.
Yep.
So what attracted you so much about YI? Welcome to the YI podcast about Know Your Member. Here with us we have our YI member, Mr. Rishin Mitra, who's an architect who's the only one who not only serves regionally, locally, nationally, but globally. A man who studied in 5 countries and is present in multiple countries today, and a proud thing that the only one in Western India working with United Nations, IMF, World Bank. We are proud to have someone like Rishin Mitra as our YI member. Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for being here. You are truly an asset for us. And share us your journey so that members know more about you.
Thank you, Richa, for inviting me here. It's an absolute pleasure to be here talking with you about the journey. I'll just take a brief moment about my education qualifications first, and then take you to the journey of my discovery of architecture. I did my schooling and everything in Rajkot. Father's a doctor, my mother's a civil engineer. I started my architecture journey in Rajkot. I did a year of architecture in Rajkot. Post that, I got an opportunity to study in London.
Okay.
So I did my graduation from London. Post that, I was offered an opportunity to study in Florence in Italy to do a diploma certification in Italian architecture.
Lovely.
During that time, I was applying to multiple countries and to expand my educational qualifications further. Post Florence, Italy, I was given an opportunity to study city planning and urbanism in Vienna, Austria.
Okay.
After that, I had already started working. I had already established my company. Fortunately, I got an opportunity to study my master's at Harvard University in USA.
Wow.
And so I did a 2-year master's course in sustainable design and climate change in Harvard University. Post that, because the company was already founded and we are doing pretty well, I decided to shift back to India and continue my professional journey in India.
So nice.
Yes.
This is amazing to know. And hopping from one place to another, studying a different course, meeting different people, understanding your mindset and patterns. How was it?
It was initially, because we come from a tier 2 city, initially when you go out, you are a bit nervous. But once you actually understand that everyone is coming from a similar background as you, everyone's there to study, everyone's there to meet new people, everyone's there to explore their horizons, it becomes a bit easy. And also, once you get comfortable with language, once you get comfortable with the study patterns that you have to redo, because we study in a very different pattern, they teach you in a very different pattern.
Right.
So once that amalgamation is there, it becomes pretty comfortable.
So nice. And how quick was it for you to get adapted to various countries, various methods, and I think each course had a different thing to understand, to learn.
Yes.
So how was that swift?
Right. So initially it took me about the first time that I went to London, because I was going alone to study outside. You are nervous, you don't know how to manage your finances.
Right.
So it took me about 3 months to set up internal systems for myself about how I wanted to go to college, taking bus for the first time, getting your metro cards, getting everything. So it took about 3 months to process everything, but once we were there, it's pretty easy. I believe this once you actually change countries, because English was comfortable there, But when I started working and studying in Italy, it was a bit different because the language was different, the culture was
Right.
very different. Even growing grocery shopping every day was a bit different because you are dealing with new kind of ingredients. You are dealing with multiple types of people. You are going and meeting a very different sect of people where they might or they might not understand your culture as well. So yeah, that takes a bit of time. That takes a bit of time to get used to. But once it's done, you're gelled up with them. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. That's so inspiring to know. But I am so curious to know that if we want to discover that one moment that defines your professional life, then what would it be and why?
Okay, so I believe there are two very critical moments in my life now that I look back.
Okay.
One would be to make a very conscious decision about coming back to India and start to work. Although the company was already formed in India, I was already working, but to actually pursue that very professionally because I was young, I was 20 to 23 at the time, and to actually have your own firm without any business background in the family, it's a bit intimidating, it's a bit daunting when it comes to managing everything, to hire people under your command. So that particular decision of coming back to India and to develop the company here further and then expanding the firm in different countries was very critical. The second biggest challenge that we face and the very critical moment that I see that now retrospectively is that when we actually started working with international firms, international organizations such as United Nations, Asian Development Bank, World Bank, etc. What happens is that the way they approach a project is very different than what we are used to here.
Okay.
Right from developing documentation protocols, which is how you develop a document to discuss with them.
Achha.
What language you use, what are formal protocols of talking to a CEO, of talking to a regional manager, of talking to a global head. Those are very different than what we are used to here.
Achha.
So that took a lot of time, but once it took us about 6 odd months to initiate such things, to understand that this is how the project can lead. These are the people that are involved. There are so many specialties that are involved, right from finances to legal, to design, to people just helping you each and every way in terms of how to proceed with a project.
Right.
That decision of actually making a call of working with such corporates, such organizations was very critical. But once we cracked that internally, I think that has led us to actually helping us succeed over the years.
Right. Very true. And this feels so good to hear because our country is facing a lot of brain drain problem, and you getting well equipped, coming back and then again serving globally means a lot to the nation building already. And when it comes to we are actually doing what you have been doing, and that decision of yours has somewhere, when we connect dots, when we think the why about everything, it really connects.
Yes.
It's so inspiring to hear all this. What would be that piece of advice you will want to give to the aspiring professionals and entrepreneur?
So two things. One would be to read. That is extremely critical that is to everyone essentially.
Okay.
And for me, reading was the founding stone that led me to explore so many cultures, that led me to becoming who I am today.
Okay.
And read everything that you can get your hands on. Don't be very specific about what I want to read. Read everything that you can get your hands on. It will broaden your horizons. It will help you think in a very different manner. It will help you question things from multiple angles.
Correct.
The second thing would be to be disciplined in whatever you do.
Very true.
A disciplined man will always outwork a motivated man.
Super. Very well said.
Like being in discipline in everything you do, right from your personal life and your professional life, makes it just a lot of difference.
Correct.
Just being on time.
Right.
It starts just from there. Just
Correct.
be on time. It's very easy.
True.
If you just start from that, everything will eventually start falling into place. If you just do one thing right, it will help you become right in multiple places as well. So being disciplined at the right time, at the right place with everyone, professionally and personally, would be my two key pieces of advice: reading and being in discipline.
So nice. I think reading leads to wisdom, and discipline practices that, making it a complete combo. So regarding YI, what I understand from your timeline is right after you came here, you just settled and you joined YI.
Yep.
So what attracted you so much about YI?
So I have to thank Rahul Bhai for that, Rahul Danger. He was instrumental in getting me into YI. And couple of things that helped me understand what YI was and what led me to become a member was the sheer number of different kind of people that are a part of YI, that are helping
Totally.
socially, that are helping in framing policies at nation level, and the kind of projects that we do actually help people right from ground up.
Correct.
It is not just, we are not just helping a particular segment of the society.
True.
We are helping everyone.
Correct.
It comes from rural initiatives, it goes through climate change, it goes through multiple angles. So that was one of the reasons, biggest reasons that helped me choose why to be a part of it. And the second part was also interacting with the fellow members.
Right.
Everyone comes from a varied field, a varied background.
Right.
Business people, professionals, teachers, professors. Just understanding their psyche, knowing why they do what they do.
Correct.
And the way they help people, the way they help in their whatever way. It's not just bigger initiatives that you take forward, but in a very smaller manner,
Right.
what they do personally and professionally.
Correct.
Just helps a lot when it gets compounded.
True.
So yeah, those were the two very critical things that helped me choose why.
Very well said that diversity is the beauty. YI family is all about having all type of people and still having one like-mindedness.
True.
That is serving the nation selflessly. It's been 3-4 years that you have joined and you have been witnessing the growth, and maybe from the journey of double digit to triple digit
Yes.
now. What do you see 5 years down the line? Where would YI be, YI Rajkot, and what do you forecast?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So based on the last 5 years that I have been a member, I believe that it's going exponentially, step by step. The kind of initiatives that YI Rajkot has been taking has grown exponentially, working with government, working with local members, working with every member's specialty. That has been extremely heartening to see. I believe in the next 5 years we'll be at the committee level tables, on discussing
Lovely.
policies, we're discussing actual initiatives that change the fabric of the city organically, and actually helping develop certain areas as well. When it comes to small traffic problems,
Correct.
developing ideas wherein we can help people with their own ground reality issues.
Right.
I believe in the next 5 years definitely will be there, because considering what Dashit and Abhinav are doing right now, I believe we are in the right track.
Very true. The ultimate purpose for any member joining in YI is easing life of people, of society in general, by the expertise that they have, and collectively with the same motto, with the same philosophy of everyone, I'm sure of it to grow leaps and bounds. Totally. If we ask you that, share that one word which is a feeling for you for YI, what would that be?
I think, as I mentioned, I believe it's opportunity.
Opportunity.
The sheer opportunities that there are being a member of YI, and the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to understand the fabric of the city, understanding the opportunities that you have to actually help a nation build, which is the motto of YI, isn't manifested in the way we work, the way we do things here in YI Rajkot. So I believe opportunity is the right word with everything that we do here.
Very true, very true. Is there anything else you would like to address people, the fellow members to know about?
I believe this is it actually, just being a part of all the initiatives that YI Rajkot offers, and if they have anything that they think that should be propagated through initiatives that we have, I believe we can definitely do that, make it larger, make it better, and I urge that all members participate in all the programs that we do. That will motivate the leadership as well, and the executive chairs as well for that. So yeah.
Totally. So guys, that was Mr. Rishin Mitra. I'm sure this podcast quantity and time is of course not sufficient. We will like to hear more about you in the upcoming ones, and to explore more about how we take things locally to globally. Thank you so much for your time and energy and your contribution to YI.
It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Thank you.